Okay, my friends, we are back. We're going to talk today about options of escaping side control utilizing a belly down option. Now, typically, I prefer to get to my guard if I can, but sometimes that's difficult. The person on top knows how to block your hips and prevent that. So having the ability to belly down gives you a lot more options. And we're going to talk about how to do that. So first, we'll have Mandy on top, side control, okay? I bridge, I get to my side. But in this situation, she's used this hand down here to block my hip, which prevents me from getting back to my guard. So what I can do now at this point is take both my hands, okay? If you can sit up a little bit for me. I'm gonna take both my hands, I'm gonna lock them out on her belt, just like this, okay? So I'm gonna lock those hands out, okay? Her weight's on top of me. I move my hips away until we come in line with each other. Now, what my instructor, Grandmaster Helson, does is really, really impressive, but I have a difficult time doing it. He's like a transformer. He can belly down all the way with his arms locked out and bring his knees. His hips can be all the way on the ground. He can bring his knees up to his side and pull up. I'm not built like him. I can't do quite what he does. So what I have to do, and this may help a lot of you if you have limitations here, is when I lock out here and I move my hips south, I pull my bottom arm underneath of me so that I don't have to lift myself up. This is very, very difficult against somebody who's got their weight on you, okay? So if I pull my bottom arm underneath and I switch my legs, now I can drive off the floor and come up to my knees, okay? Because there's no weight on my hips at that point. Once that's accomplished, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna windshield wiper both my legs. I'm gonna stretch this leg and this arm out on this side. And as I collapse backwards, I'm gonna collect her in the guard, okay? So that's the first option. Now, when you try to re-guard, a lot of times what people will do is they'll see that, they'll recognize that you're falling back into the guard and they wanna spin to go towards your back, okay? So if I've collapsed this way and she sees the possibility of me getting back to my guard, she's gonna switch and spin towards my back. So when that happens, I have to move the other direction. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this leg high here, keep moving, and then switch to this side and catch her on this side. All right, so what that looks like without her there is this, okay? So I've collapsed here. When she goes to spin this direction, the top side arm is gonna come here. Top leg is gonna come close because I wanna block the hook on this side. I wanna block her ability to make connection with her hands. Because if she spins to my back, try to get a seatbelt. I'm blocking the hand here, elbows tight. She can't get a hook because my elbow is against my hip. The bottom hook can't come in because this arm comes down to block the hips, okay? So once I'm here like this, I fall back and I come into this position again, okay? So just a simple drill that you can do by yourself. It looks like this, okay? So pretend you're falling into the guard. They go to spin north around this side. Bottom arm and bottom leg move together. Here, this hand comes here, elbow tight, leg high, okay? I want to bring this leg as close to my body as I can so I can fold underneath. Remember, the weight is up here, not on my hips. So that makes it easier for my hips to rotate and move. This is gonna block the bottom arm is gonna block the hook on the near side. This hand is gonna block the hand coming around to either attack my neck or make a seatbelt connection. So when I come here like this, I roll. Now, to practice this, just go back and forth. Keep your head as close to the floor as you can. You wanna take away all that space. So once again, I got to my knees. Here, she goes to circle. I stretch this way. If she spins the other direction, I switch. And I catch her on this side. Okay? When you belly down, you're gonna have two sorts of types of attacks on the top. You're gonna have somebody who wants to spin to your back, which we kind of addressed already. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But you'll also have people who wanna stay on top in front of you, who want to attack the neck and the arms, okay? It could be a collar choke, it could be a head and arm choke, like a darce, things like that. So when somebody addresses you that direction, okay, when I get to my knees and they start to wrap here like this, one good option for you, number one, you don't want these hands to connect. Okay, so once I've come to my knees, I need to be ready to block these hands from getting connected. Okay, now once that happens here, if this arm is deep in, this arm right here, okay, underneath my armpit, I'm gonna connect here like this. I'm gonna step this leg out. I'm gonna sit this leg through. A lot of pressure, okay? Now, I'm gonna go easy a little bit because if I put all my weight here, Mandy's arm's gonna go to sleep, okay? It's a lot of pressure. So once I sit through, I've caught her arm above the elbow. Now what I wanna do is have a wide base. I pinch my elbow into my ribs. I lift my hips off the floor and I drive over top of it. You okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, this hand is gonna come here, grab the wrist. I can figure 4, and now we have an arm lock. Okay? So don't focus so much on being on top because this elbow comes off the floor, she's gonna be able to shrink her arm. I want my elbow pinched on the floor. I want to lift my hips up and drive over top of it. Pull your arm free. Stuck. Now, figure 4. Make sure the thumb is up, arm lock. One more bonus technique here. And you can do this in a number of different scenarios, but this works really well in this situation. Once I've gotten to my knees and I go to re-guard, if I can fold this leg out here, okay, as opposed to just having the knee across the belly, if I can get this leg out like this and I start to collect her, I start to pull her in, I can bind her legs up. So this leg, I'm on my side, I have underhooks. This leg is gonna pinch in towards, I'm gonna make a figure 4. Now, can you open your knees? Find your base. And now, whichever way I decide to go, I just start rocking the boat, okay? If she puts her hand out, I just pick it up. And I slide right on top. Once I have them out, I can open up the figure 4, come on top. Okay guys, so give those a try, let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you soon.